Knowing that I can do this still. I'd say that, but then I like kind of the minimalist. You said the name. I think it works. It reminds me of my parents' 1970s stuff. So we'll be going back in the other room for closed session. Sorry, get some steps in.
I would like to call to order the Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. Are there any speakers related to closed session item topics? Okay. The board will now convene to close session. board will now convene open session and report out from closed session. Open session of the Board of Education meeting is live on YouTube. Visit the NHUSD Board of Education website for the link. If you're attending online via Zoom, use the raise hand feature to indicate you wish to provide public comment. Phone participants should press 9 to be added to the queue and wait to be called on. Members of the community may submit public comments to the board via email at publiccomment@nhusd.k12.ca.us before each meeting. The board received 1 public comment via email for tonight's meeting. The board will not respond to questions posed by those making public comments relative to closed session items 3.1. The board took no action. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Vice President Kumar to preside over the beginning of the meeting.
Thank you, President Gonzalez. Will the audience please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May I have a roll call, please?
Here.
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 Here. Here.
Here.
May I have a motion and second to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved. Second.
Can I make an amendment? We would like to, from the consent item, pull item 13.9. So if we can approve the agenda with that in mind.
Thank you. I move to amend the motion by removing item number 13.9 from the consent agenda. Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Can I have a volunteer to read the land acknowledgement tonight? Trustee Rafay.
We want to open this meeting by acknowledging with respect and love that the land we are on today is the traditional ancestral homeland of the Ohlone Chochenyo First People. We recognize and thank the Ohlone people as the original stewards of this land. Indigenous people must not be spoken about in past contexts as they left on their own accord, when the real causes were the white supremacy, manifest destiny, and US colonization. By recognizing we stand on the occupied indigenous territory of the Ohlone people, we recommit ourselves to listen to Native leadership and stand in solidarity with people struggling against systems of oppression throughout the world, past and present.
Thank you, Trustee Rafay. Back to you, President Gonzalez.
Thank you, Vice President Kumar. Okay, are there any, we're on to public comments. Are there any blue cards for topics that are not on the agenda? Okay. And even for items that are on the agenda, nothing there? Okay, or nobody in Zoom? All right, we'll move on. Okay, we'll move on to Union President Report. CSEA President, I do not see. Okay. I do see NHTA President Joe Angeles. You come forward.
Good evening, President Gonzalez, Vice President Kumar, trustees, student trustees, Dr. Thompson, staff, people in the audience. I'd like to just kind of report on one of the things that we've been doing. As you know, one of the conversations we started with the district a while back, especially through the pandemic, was advisory conversations, which is a collaboration of NHTA staff and the district staff for certain concerns that both parties have a real interest in trying to solve and collaborate. We started with the help of we and her staff, the PD advisory, which, as you may recall, is a result of the addition of a PD workday in the district. Coming up later in a few years from now, 27, there'll be another PD added to it. But we thought it really appropriate to work on it together for both this upcoming one, which is this coming March, and then one in 2027. Pleased to say has been a conversation. Initial conversation was a good collaboration of thoughts and moving forward, especially with some of the areas that are really need attention. In particular, one of the things in talking about is the equity and access kind of conversation that we so much champion here in New Haven. So we're looking forward to that. The other part is the ongoing that we've been doing with the advisory. As you know, we still have in place a special ed advisory. That is an area still of concern, trying to solve some areas. We look forward to continue the conversation through the advisory, as well as my conversation with Dr. Thompson and his staff to kind of get that going. And last, I'd like to close, obviously, this past month was really plagued with a thing called an election. And as you know, I do want to say congratulations, President Gonzalez, for your reelection, and also Trustee Nishara for your election to the City Council. I think, as we know, going forward, both conversations at the city, as here, with other staff that's been joining the trustee board, Pat Irby, one of our own retired NHA teacher, and parent community person, Ms. Freeberg. I think the conversation will continue, which has been very, like I said, a positive collaboration for both of us, both the teachers, students, community, and in the district at large. Thank you.
Thank you, President Joe Angeles. We're going to go ahead and move on to our annual update on district projects and budget update on Measure M.
Okay, good evening, Superintendent Thompson and trustees. Annette Tellman, I'm your Chief Business Officer. So we're still in the process of recruiting or backfilling our Facilities Director position. Therefore, tonight I have the pleasure of presenting to you or delivering to you our annual updates on our projects throughout the district. So the order of tonight's presentation, we're going to show you some pictures of projects that we have completed since the last update, which was about this time last year, and the various projects that we have that are in varying stages. And we also want to touch base on projects that were actually considered and for one reason or another are on hold. And we want to just keep those as part of our conversation moving forward. So I wanted to go over, I think one of the questions that sometimes come up is how do we determine what projects to do? What are the priorities? And there's really a lot of reasons on that. Number one, of course, is what did we promise our community? Most of our capital facilities dollars are through by way of a revenue measure from a general obligation bond. So those, we're staying true to those promises and the commitment that we made to our community. And then there are the deferred maintenance. Those are, we do most of those throughout the summer, but these are things that just like any normal household, if you want to, they're more preventive and they're more on a routine, but we keep track of those on an annual basis based on assessment by our staff and when we go through our FIT report every year. So those are how those things are determined and categorized. And then we have those that are unforeseen, that happen through emergency. Remember, our buildings are 40 to 50 years old and things happen. It's no different than the houses that we live in. And then there are other categories where there are times when if we're going to be doing something within a general vicinity and it makes more sense in terms of economies of scale and the cost that, if there's trenching here and we know there's something within that proximity that will need to be addressed in the near future, then we would consider those as well. There are categories that would be nice, not necessarily an urgent need, but would be nice. There are those as well that we add to our docket of capital facilities program. And then, of course, as our community are, very familiar with and uses our facility, they would give us, is that better? Okay, thank you. We hear from our community in terms of what might need improvement or what might be an eyesore or what might make sense. So those things are the things that we consider. So the bulk of this presentation really, okay, I'm not, are on the completed projects. Following this slide are the pictures. This is the most gratifying thing about my role in the district. Facilities is, to me, not that the other departments are not fun, sorry, Jason, but facilities is very fun because it's, like I said, it's that building wasn't there and now it's there. Or, it's very gratifying. You can see the results. Visually, it's really very fulfilling. So these are the list of those that we completed from last year, this time last year to now. So we have, I'm going to go through these quickly, but just projects that we went through and improved. That's AES. I don't know. We love that floor over at Easton. It's just beautifully designed and very engaging in terms of the colors and what the school site team selected. So as we go through these, again, it's a reminder of how very well supported we are by our New Haven community in terms of being able to deliver these to our students and our families. Is this Emmanuel, another fun one? We had that ribbon cutting, really just engaging environment. More and more, what we hear with public agencies and capital projects are, even outdoor areas are learning areas. It's just a matter of how you design them and the usage of them. This is a very dramatic transformation in terms of Hillview Crest. That's their makerspace building. We were there earlier this afternoon, so we saw that in person. So all these learning spaces for our students, just great. And of course, this is another dramatic transformation. Our boardroom, it was in dire need of improvement. I think COVID taught us a lot of things, and we took that opportunity and really made a lot of difference. So not only are we, making a difference with our learning environments in our classrooms, we're also being responsible in terms of energy use. So we have solar in just about every schools in our district. We've done a few of these. This might be, we could say that this is one of those would be nice. Do we have to do it? Probably not, because the functionality is still working. But Pioneer is a great example of how bad it looked, especially when our families would drive by that drop-off area. So this is one of those. So now it triggers not only the aesthetics of it, but also the functionality is improved. This is the phase 1 of our security system. All right, so I went through those very fast, but I know we've seen those in person. Now we have more projects as we taper down on the bond measure M, which was authorized in 2014. So these projects are in varying stages, like I said. These are the few projects that we have in construction phase. We're actually finishing up on most of these. I'd say the district-wide HVAC project and the central kitchen, those are, at the tail end. We're almost done. We're almost there. Phase 2 of our surveillance system, where we just got started with the rest of the schools, but again, we're in the middle of that project. So these are the ones that are actively in construction phase right now. So these are what we are putting out on the street in terms of the bidding process. Once we get all the front ends and the approval from the state, from DSA, then we're ready to put, to get back to it as a district team and prepare what needs to be prepared in terms of putting it out for bid. So AES, the long-awaited makerspace project at AES. We got that approval just a few weeks ago from DSA. And just about a week or so ago, we got approval for one of two middle school field projects. So we're getting those ready. In fact, AES is already out on the street. We've started the new, all the requirements that we need to do, the procedures that we need to do in terms of putting those out to bid. We are preparing Cesar Chavez right now. The other field project, which is IVC, is still under review by DSA. So we'll be giving updates on that as soon as we hear more. These are actually, I should say, these are assessment / design phase for some of them. So we have a slate of projects over at Hillview Crest. Some of those walks have already taken place. So it's like I said, it's a combination of some in some aspects are being assessed and in some are being designed. In addition to all the slate of projects over at Hillview Crest, we have perimeter gates at Emmanuel. This is at the front where we have some portables, if you're facing the site on the left side for additional security. We have some ADA requirements that we're working on at Barnard White campus. The falling apart roof, we're finally addressing it at Courtyard. And some additional, now that we're tapering down and finishing the central kitchen, we're identifying additional fencing that we need in that area. So these are in the design phase and to some level in the assessment phase, especially when it comes to the slate of projects for Hillview. And these are truly in the assessment phase. These are the results of input from our MOT staff as they do their daily routes and results from our fit assessment in terms of, hey, what needs to be addressed in the coming summer, in the coming year. We take advantage of the summer months because that obviously is when we don't have the students on campus. We hardly have any staff, teaching staff. So we try to do a lot of these during the summer months. So I mentioned earlier that there were things that were considered and some work that were put together, but were kind of put aside, whether it's budget permitting reasons or the thing is we don't run out of priorities. We have a lot of priorities and it's really a matter of rearranging those and looking at those from year to year. Part of tonight's presentation, I also wanted to talk about the status of Bond Measure M in terms of where we are, in terms of the spending. So as a recap, back in 2015, when Measure M was approved, 125 million was authorized for us by our community. These were in general, the projects that were approved by the board. And this is what is being implemented. These were those main projects and main categories. As you saw earlier today, the ribbon cutting at Kiriyama, that is, one of the line item there that addresses 21st. We don't even want to call it that sometimes, but it is the makerspace, the future ready learning in all of our school sites. So just as a recap, this is what we are implementing as part of for Measure M. So where are we in terms of the year that we just closed, meaning as of year ended 23-24? I would just call your attention to the last column and the last row. So that is as of the closing of the books last year, we have over 24.1 million. Now, of course, we have that because, like I said, we have projects that are in assessment and design phase. We're not going to be liquidating those until we're making progress on those construction. But now that we have addressed the priorities and the commitment that we made to our community for Measure M, which, like I said, 10 years ago, in order to look into what is it, like I said, we don't run out of priorities. There's always a need, right? Our need is always 3 or 4 times higher than the money we have. So where can we put that in terms of after we've implemented the priorities and the commitment for Measure M, what can we do should we have extra money? And based on our assessment today, we're looking at some dollars that we could dedicate to Alvarado Elementary School because we know there are needs there, additional needs more than what was allocated originally from Measure M. So going back to that estimated ending balance of 24 million, setting aside some requirements and some designations that we know we will need based on the commitments and the projects that are in various stages, we're looking to at a balance of about 2 million that we could designate for Alvarado Elementary School. Now, we all know that bids can come and these are not going to be the exact amounts. So conceptually, what we're looking for is, and in a later part of the agenda, we will be requesting approval for this realignment, if I may, or reallocation of what could be the ending balance that we're projecting right now. And looking at our sites and looking at the 2013 Facility Master Plan, which is the basis of Measure M, Alvarado Elementary could use a little bit more TLC because of, you know, the age and the status of that. It was identified as the next slew of priorities. So if we have this and we're projecting to have an ending balance, we would be asking the board approval to reallocate this for that. So this plan is in another action item in the later part of the agenda, and the board will be requested to ask for that approval. So that is tonight's presentation in terms of our project update and where we are in terms of Measure M spending. Are there any questions?
Yes, Vice President Kumar.
Thank you, Ms. Elman. That was great. It's always exciting to see all those pictures together. I did have a question about Alvarado Elementary, the multipurpose room cafeteria. Is that part of the other needs?
It's a big ticket item, but it's certainly identified as a need, most definitely.
So will that be addressed soon, we think?
That's the plan is that's priority one there.
Okay.
So we'll see, we'll go in and now if the board approves this reallocation of funds, we'll go in within architects and figure out what we can do and then see if it matches up with that $2 million. It's that and then the front entry of the school and there's some flooring issues in the administration building that need to be addressed, but priority one is the cafeteria, multi-use room.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, are there any questions or comments? Trustee Nishara?
Yeah, thank you for all the hard work on this. Just a little bit of an anecdote. Many of us in the community were knocking on doors over the last month or two. And a lot of us had been advocating for the new measure N.
Mhm.
And one of the things when I talked to one particular resident, he was not necessarily enthused about another bond measure. Well, I don't know how this district has been spending the Measure M dollars. I don't know what was going on. And so he was somewhat hesitant to support Measure N. And so I took this resident's email address and I sent him, the point is that there's a great section on our website that has all of this information in one spot. And I was able to forward that. I was able to forward that site that actually had all those videos that showed everything that we do, when bond dollars are approved by voters. So those very, very nice, well-done videos, as well as the Measure M oversight documents and stuff like that. I forwarded that information. And I also mentioned that we've got over $1 billion of needs that have been identified in the facilities master plan. So I forwarded that as well. I think the point that I'm trying to make here is that the public really enjoys that level of transparency. And it made it really, really easy for me to be able to address that. So with the I suppose as we kick off Measure N, we should go into that with that same level of transparency to our public, so they know exactly where we're spending those bond dollars, because it does make a difference. And I just wanted to congratulate the staff for doing that, as well as being able to make all that information findable for everybody in the community. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Okay. Not hearing any other questions or concerns, we'll go ahead and move on. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we're on items from the board and superintendent. And I'll start to the right and we'll move over to the left here. Student trustee Buenaflor.
Okay, so last week Logan had a blood drive, which was pretty successful. We had over 50 donors. And we're hoping to host another blood drive next semester. And next week is also staff giving, so we're just planning to appreciate our staff and just like leadership is just like planning activities. And also in 2 weeks is Thanksgiving break, so all students are pretty excited about that. So that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, student trustee, Baca?
We currently have 7 clubs running before and after school. We also have a SAVE program presenting in advisories every Friday. Also, Youth 180 group started 2 weeks ago to help our young men on our campus. Our student leadership group also planned our Spirit Week and a Halloween carnival. Our new college and career counselor has been providing post-high school planning support for our current seniors right now. She also has scheduled a field trip to Cypress Mandela, which is a free 16-week program. Ohlone, Chabot, and Tesla program are also coming to Conley to present about their schools and programs. And lastly, Kaiser Internship Program has also already presented to students at Conley. That's all I have today.
Thank you. Trustee Hernandez?
No comment, thank you.
Okay. Trustee Nishar?
Yes, I would like to welcome all the future Eagle Scouts from Troop 110. I remember sitting in your seats probably, I don't know, 30 years ago, maybe more, yeah, about 30, at the Newark, City of Newark City Council meetings. And I remember being in that chair and wanting, because citizenship in the community was my favorite badge. And I found it very interesting, and it kind of set me on a path to where I am right now. And so I think maybe someday in the future, maybe in 20-ish years, maybe one of you will be sitting in one of these offices. And I'd also like to open it up. Vice President Kumar has my personal contact information. If any of you all have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks for coming.
Okay. Trustee Rafay?
So like it's been a busy month as we got to attend the special ed soccer games at Washington High School. It was exciting to see how the children were really interested in doing that, as well as the all the maker spaces that's been happening. I was the Kitayama was today, and also I'd like to highly recommend everyone to check out Logan Live YouTube channel. It is one of the prides of our Logan High School. On another note, I'd be requesting today for recognition of our Logan Live students and their teacher in our school board meetings. That's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Vice President Kumar?
Hi, everyone. Welcome, Scouts. I hope you're taking good notes. So I have a few updates. I attended the trunk or treat at Alvarado Elementary a couple of weeks ago. Great event, large community turnout. Our students had a blast. So I just wanted to give a shout out and thank the Alvarado Elementary PTC for putting together such a good event for our students. I attended the inauguration of the Makerspace at Kitayama earlier today. It looks gorgeous. We saw pictures. And lastly, but definitely not the least, I wanted to give a shout out to our teachers and staff for all the efforts they put in for spreading the word about Measure N. They walked, they knocked on doors, they called, they use social media, all of this on their own time. And it worked. I want to thank the New Haven community for putting your trust in us and voting in favor of Measure N. We will do everything in our capacity to make sure we use these funds in the best interest of our students. So thank you.
Okay, and I don't have anything substantial to contribute. I'll go ahead and pass it on to our superintendent, Dr. Thompson.
Okay, well, first of all, congratulations to Trustee Nishihara and President Gonzalez on your reelection and your new position. I know that we'll miss you here, Trustee Nishihara, but it's good to have friends on City Council too, so.
Yeah.
All right, and I want to thank our community and particularly those in the community like NHTA and the volunteers who went around and really walked the streets, our board members who did as well, and for Measure N. Measure N is, it's hard to put into words what a difference that's going to make for our students and our schools. So I'm very excited about moving forward quickly. I had Assistant Sup Heldman can attest that I've been pushing her already. Let's go, let's get these projects going. So I'm excited about that. And lastly, I was able to attend the Suburban School Superintendent's Conference. It's a national conference with some of the more interesting superintendents from across the country. And it's just reinvigorating to meet with people who are doing great things in school districts across the country and to gather ideas and bring them back here. So I won't bore everybody with all the details, but I'm excited about some of the possibilities that we can bring here to make our schools even better than they are. So that's it for me.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go on to item 10.2 is progress report. It's learning communities for school success program.
This is just an annual update for the program grant that we received. We provide this update every year on the LCSSP, that's the Learning Communities for School Success Program grant. So there's nothing to do other than it's just information provided for the board, the community.
Okay. So we'll move on to committee reports. For the Finance, Technology and Facilities Committee, we don't have anything scheduled for a while. Okay, moving on to Communication and Advocacy Committee. Vice President Kumar.
Thank you. We had a meeting last week on the 7th of November. We got an update on the middle school open house and it was very well attended. So that was exciting. We also discussed a communication survey that is going to be sent out to families. Our next meeting is January 16th, I believe.
Thank you. Okay, so Policy Review Committee doesn't meet till November 19th this month. Okay, and the other committees?
Yeah. New Haven Schools Foundation met on October 21st. There were a few things that were interesting for the public. One, we have 3 new scholarships that have been created. One is in memory of the late Thomas Seaton, former New Haven teacher. And then also H.M. Shaw and Let Them Grow Tall scholarship. So we've added some scholarships. We also reviewed the status of various grant programs. And also the foundation will be sending out a fall mailer probably in the next couple of weeks. The foundation and members of the foundation have also been going out to school site council and PTC meetings regularly. And they are also taking on vehicle donations. So if you have an old clunker that is that you want to get out of your driveway, New Haven Schools Foundation has a process for you to donate your car and the proceeds to be donated to the foundation. That is it from the New Haven Schools Foundation.
Thank you. Are there any other committees that report? No? Okay, hearing none. Go ahead and move on. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over for next part of the agenda on action items to Vice President Kumar.
Thank you, President Gonzalez. So we're going to move on to action items. We'll start with item 12.1. May I have a volunteer to read resolution number 021-2425, Celebrations of Light, December 2024. Trustee Hernandez.
New Haven Unified Board District Board of Education, Resolution Number 021-2425, Celebration of Light, December 2024. Whereas New Haven Unified School District schools reflect on increasingly diverse society with many religions, ethnic and cultural traditions and beliefs that are meaningful to the students and adults in our communities. And whereas holidays and traditions provide individuals and families with confirmation, hope, and rich opportunities for learning, it is the responsibility of the schools to create awareness of and increase sensitivity to our diverse society, to establish and maintain a comfortable climate for learning throughout the entire school year for all students and adults. And whereas light is a fundamental force of nature that illuminates our world, sustains life, and inspires creativity. And whereas celebrations of light such as Diwali, Lunar New Year, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Los Posadas, Christmas, Simbang, Gabi, and the Thai Lantern Festival have been a part of human culture for millennia, symbolizing hope, renewal, and triumph of good over evil. And whereas these celebrations bring communities together, foster understanding, and promote peace. Whereas we encourage the preservation and promotion of these traditions, ensuring that future generations can experience their beauty and significance. Whereas we support initiatives that promote understanding and respect among people of different faiths and cultures, recognizing the common thread that unites us. Whereas we commit to using light as a symbol of hope and inspiration in our own lives and communities, striving to create a brighter future for all. Now therefore it be resolved that the New Haven Unified School District hereby proclaims the month of December 2024 as Celebrations of Light Month in recognition of these diverse cultural and religious traditions that enrich our community.
Thank you, Trustee Hernandez. May I have a motion and second to adopt resolution number 021-2425, Celebrations of Light, December 2024?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. I'm going to propose that we move on items 12.2 and 12.3 together, as they're both in recognition of our trustees who will be leaving us soon. So we'll start with 12.2. May I have a volunteer to read resolution number 022-2425, recognition of Trustee Vanessa Hernandez. Go ahead, Trustee Rafay.
New Haven Unified School District Resolution Number 022-2425 in recognition and appreciation of Trustee Vanessa Hernandez. Whereas Trustee Vanessa Hernandez was appointed to the New Haven Unified School District as Board Trustee in 2023, and whereas over the past year, Trustee Hernandez has served as Board Representative to the Alameda County School Boards Association and the New Haven Finance, Technology, and Facilities Committee. And whereas Trustee Hernandez believes in the value of a quality public education and has dedicated the year to ensure student success in our classrooms and community. And whereas Trustee Hernandez has consistently leveraged her experience as a parent and parent leader in our school district to inform her decision-making as a board trustee. And whereas Trustee Hernandez believes that quality service for student success is paramount for the students of the New Haven Unified School District. And whereas Trustee Hernandez supported safe schools by promoting a safe and nurturing learning environment and access to mental health services, as well as fiscal discipline and accountability to maintain quality programs and services. Therefore, be it resolved that New Haven Unified School District expresses appreciation and commends Trustee Hernandez for her year of commitment, dedication, and contributions to the district's students, staff, and community, and wishes her great success in all her future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Rafay. May I have a volunteer to read resolution number 023-2425, recognition of Trustee Lance Nishihira? I can do it. No worries. Got this. In recognition and appreciation of Trustee Lance Nishihira, whereas Trustee Lance Nishihira was elected to the New Haven Unified School District as Board Trustee in 2016 and re-elected in 2020, and whereas over the last 8 years, Trustee Nishihira has served as Board President, Board Representative to the Alameda County School Boards Association, the Board of Education City Council Subcommittee, the California Interscholastic Federation North Coast Section, the Communication and Advocacy Committee, the Mission Valley ROP, Mission Valley SELPA, and the New Haven Schools Foundation. And whereas Trustee Nishihira is a staunch advocate for quality public education and has devoted the past 8 years to fostering student success within our classrooms and community. And whereas Trustee Nishihira has completed the CSBA Masters in Governance training module. And whereas Trustee Nishihira has leveraged his experience as a community member and parent to inform his decision-making as a school board member. And whereas trustee Nishihira has been a leader in advancing technology and innovative programs and systems for the betterment of our students, staff, and families. And whereas trustee Nishihira emphasized the importance of ongoing student achievement and school success by supporting programs and initiatives aimed at preparing graduating students for a technologically advanced global economy. And whereas trustee Nishihira's unwavering commitment to student well-being and academic excellence has led to the promotion of safe and nurturing learning environments, increased access to mental health services, and the implementation of fiscally responsible practices to ensure the sustainability of quality programs and services. And whereas trustee Nishihira maintained a collaborative connection with many community groups, such as the Daily Bowl, to support the district, therefore, be it resolved that the New Haven Unified School District expresses appreciation and commends trustee Nishihira for his 8 years of commitment, dedication, and contributions to the students, staff, and community of the district, and wishes him great success in all his future endeavors. Passed and adopted on this 12th day of November, 2024. May I have a motion and second to adopt resolutions numbers 022-2425 and 023-2425?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, this is a good time for trustees to share any thoughts that they may have.
Okay,
Trustee Nishihira?
well, thanks. So before I moved to Union City, I was always in awe of the things that happened in the school district. I went to Newark Memorial. I was a Newark kid, and I was always in awe of all the things that this district did. I played football against James Logan. We lost a lot. We got to hear that band play every time James Logan would score a touchdown. So that's ingrained in my head. They would always kick everybody's behind at wrestling. Their band was second to none. Their forensics department was out of this world. And so I was very, very excited when my wife convinced us to start a family in Union City, because I was very interested in having my kids come to New Haven schools. And so 19 years ago, in 2005, when my youngest daughter, who's now a second-year grad student, was in kindergarten, they had a little flyer that said, "We want parents to join school site council." And I had no idea what that meant. And so I'm looking at you parents here, because you have probably all gotten that same slip of paper, not knowing what it was. It's a very, very important role. And I did that at Hillview Crest for 10 years, from 2005 to 2015, when my last daughter promoted out of elementary. And here I am. Then I was elected in 2016, and it's been a really fun ride. And I don't regret. There's not much that I regret about my time here. In the last 8 years, we've experienced 2 superintendent appointments, a strike, a rebranding process, new website and communication strategies, a pandemic and virtual learning. Lots of construction, as we've been able to see, just a transformation of our food services department, too many forest fires and brownouts to count. But I will say that it's been quite a satisfying ride, and I'm really glad that I was able to contribute. Now that I'm moving on, because my kids have moved on and they're off on their next stage of life, it became appropriate for me to figure out what my next stage was. And so I'll be continuing to serve the community in whatever role I can. But I'm not going very far away. I'll still be very active with the Schools Foundation, and I'm just a stone's throw away or a phone call away if anybody in the community or anybody in the school district would like to collaborate with me. But I just wanted to thank everybody for allowing me the privilege of serving this community. So thank you.
Thank you, trustee Nishihira. Trustee Hernandez?
I don't know how I'm gonna follow that. I just want to say thank you to all the staff. to the entire district. Growing up here has been an amazing journey, and, you know, I'm not very far, still having a student in at the elementary level. When I was able to bring the news home that I was appointed to the board, I don't know anyone who is more proud than my father, who was a student trustee for Conley back when he was obviously still enrolled. So it's I couldn't imagine had you had asked me years ago as a student here, where this district would lead me to. But I couldn't be any more proud. So I just want to say thank you. I also will not stop my servitude here with the district, and I look forward to seeing where we all go in the years to come.
Thank you, Trustee Hernandez. Would anyone else like to say a few words? President Gonzalez?
Okay, first with Trustee Hernandez and then Trustee Nishihara. So the only thing I wish or I think is unfair is just how short our time together is getting to know you. I just wish it was longer. It seems it was so fast, and people think that we interact with each other. We're up here, we're in meetings. It's very serious. It's not a opportunity to really get to know each other. What you need to own and take with you is you are the first Conley Carabella graduate, on here. And that means something, you're hopefully it's not the last, but like my niece who graduated from Conley Carabella, you represent big dreams for them. And your representation, you matter being here. During the appointment process, I picked you before I knew who you were. I mean, I just knew you on a piece of paper and before what you presented before us, and I saw your character, I saw your integrity. I saw the experience and I saw the words you said, or heard the words you said, and that's what I voted for. And 10 toes down on the ground, I absolutely do not regret one day of picking you. You are amazing, and it was a pleasant surprise to find out that I knew your family. I knew your father. I knew your other members, cousins. My brother and I went to Cyril's with him, and I hung out at your grandparents' house, and so I had that connection. It's like, oh, so that was pretty amazing. And just that you're going to be missed. I'd like to see you more often. Hopefully our paths will cross again. So you are missed. So thank you. Trustee Nishihara. So I got elected with you 4 years ago. We came on together, and you've been a terrific mentor to me. Any questions? Whether how we voted differently, you always very professional, and you didn't hesitate to help me. So I really appreciate that. You and I have perfect attendance, though. Did you not know he has perfect attendance my whole time, 4 years, and I have perfect attendance being here. You were always prepared. What you said was extremely valuable. What you brought to the table. You dropped some gems in there, and very insightful questions. You went through one of the greatest fears, a superintendent or a board member. You went through a strike, and and you prevailed, and you're doing well now. In my book, you have a Purple Heart. I know you served in the military, but to go through that and to come across to come out and you're still standing here. It takes a lot from you. I know city council, with your progression moving on to city council, you'll be highly valuable. I have no doubt you're going to shine there. You're going to do well. And you are leaving a lot of historical information on this board. What you bring, you can refer back there after you, there is no other person but me, you know, they can refer back. Well, what did we do, years ago on the board? And, you have that and you're going to be leaving us. During the election, I'm very proud though that I, walked for you and, promoted you to my family and friends. And because I know you're going to do well, you know, man, I know what you brought here and you transfer over to city council, you're going to do well. The good thing is I will always think of you when I see our New Haven branding right here. I'm going to think of Lance Nishihara right there, what you did and contribute. So you will be missed. So thank you.
Thank you, President Gonzalez.
Thank you. Trustee Rafael? So I'll start with Trustee Hernandez. I wanted to say thank you for stepping up when Trustee Mallory had to resign because she moved. We really appreciate you taking it on because it's a lot. We know you have a little girl, so it's hard. But thank you so much. It was an honor serving on the board with you. And I sincerely hope that we will see you back on this board in a few years. Thank you. Trustee Nishihira, I remember when I met you the first time, it was 2 years ago when I reached out to him and asked him for an endorsement because I was running for school board. And he met with me and he grilled me. But now I realize that all those questions that you asked were spot on. I loved that he did not just endorse anyone. He made sure that the candidate was right for the role. And I see that now. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. When I got on the board, Trustee Nishihira was the president, and I learned so much just by watching you preside over meetings. Thank you. You've been an incredible mentor. Many may not know this, but I used to reach out to Trustee Nishihira and we used to have one-on-ones outside very often because I needed to pick his brains and he really, thank you so much for all of that. I really appreciate you. We've also served on CNA and NHSF together. So that's been great. You know, you're a wealth of wisdom and experience when it comes to school board. And I wish, you know, we had a USB stick that we could just download everything and tap into it whenever we needed. But I'm excited for you. I think Union City needs you on the city council. Thank you for your service and don't be a stranger.
Thank you, Vice President Kumar. Appreciate it.
Trustee Rafael?
Just, it's been an honor working with like Trustee Nishihira and Trustee Vanessa Hernandez. And so, thank you.
Thank you.
Superintendent Thompson?
Thank you for allowing me a moment here. Yeah, Trustee Nishihira, our journey began 6 years ago. It's hard to believe. And I think back to where we were 6 years ago and where we are now, and it's such a better place, in large part because of your perspective, your thoughts, and what you push for. So you've helped me a lot. I've really appreciated it. I'll miss you a lot. But I'm really excited for you to go to city council. So I know you'll be there. And so thank you for everything. And Trustee Hernandez, you came in as Vice President Kumar said, and President Gonzalez as well. Came in, it's tough to walk in like you did. And I thought you came in and led with grace, humility. You were always willing to listen and learn and provide a great perspective in such a short period of time. So I've really appreciated that and getting to know you, and thank you. And I agree. I hope, well, we know where you are and we know where to find you. So I hope we continue to work together for years to come. Thank you both.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries.
We have a couple of parting gifts for you, and why don't we come around?
Thank you.
And then together. I don't know, what do you think?
All right, we are back to business. Moving on to item 12.4. May I have a motion and second to approve two revisions to the regular board meeting calendar? One is change the start time of the December 10th board meeting to 5 p.m. And two, reclassify the December 17th special meeting as a regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.5, may I have a motion and second to approve the Measure M proposed budget reallocation?
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.6, may I have a motion and second to approve the service agreement with Woolpert for enrollment and demographic analysis services?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.7, may I have a motion and second to approve the agreement with Community One 2024-25?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.8, may I have a motion and second to approve the new course at James Logan High School beginning fall 2025, music appreciation?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.9, may I have a motion and second to approve the school plans for student achievement 2024-25?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to item 13. Are there any items from the consent agenda other than the one Dr. Thompson pointed out earlier that any board members would like to pull for a separate vote? All right, seeing none, may I have a motion and second to approve items 13.1 through 13.8 and 13.10 through 13.14, noting that 13.9 has been pulled.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to item 14. Are we going to revisit 13.9 now, or we just?
No, we're gonna
we're
bring
still-
it back at another meeting.
All right, so since there's nothing else that was removed from the consent agenda, we can move on to item 15, and I'm handing it over back to you, President Gonzalez.
Thank you, Vice President Kumar. All right, assessment, governance, procedures and protocol. Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and move on. All right, board consensus, are there any board members with a request? Okay, trustee Buffet.
I would like Logan Live students to be recognized in our school board meeting because all the work that they do is incredible.
I see I see a consensus. If not, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. We'll
Thank you.
take care of it.
All right, I'd like to adjourn tonight's meeting in honor of trustee Hernandez and trustee Nishihara. It is 7:29. Good night.